In this video tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to create a zoom in effect. So here in our timeline, we have two clips, and what we want to do is add a transition that zooms in beautifully from the first clip to the second clip. All right, I got two time-lapse clips here, and this transition I'm going to walk you through, I first learned from Justin Odisho, so check out his stuff if you haven't already. The first step, instead of applying all these effects and transitions to each one of these clips, is I'm going to come and create a new item and create an adjustment layer. All right, my sequence is 1920 by 1080. I'm going to go ahead and press OK, and I'm going to be dragging that adjustment layer, as evenly as I can over both of those clips. Okay, the main thing with the adjustment layer, we can bring it in a little bit. We can drag these side icons in and bring it in. The main thing is we want some room to work with, so make sure that you have at least 6 to 8 frames on the left and at least 6 to 8 frames on the right. Okay. Once you have completed that, we're going to go ahead and copy our adjustment layer. So you can press Alt after you highlight it and drag it up one layer. And then we're going to go ahead and take the bottom layer and simply adjust it so that it applies over only the second clip that we're going to be transitioning into. Okay, so we got one adjustment layer over the first clip and we got two adjustment layers over the second clip, making sure that we have keyframes 6 to 8 at least on both sides. All right, once you've done that, we're ready to apply some of our effects. So we're going to come to the project, and I'm going to highlight effects here, and we're going to be searching for an effect called replicate. If you don't see your effects window, you can come up to window and just make sure that effects is checked here. All right, so once we have the replicate, we're going to be applying this to the bottom adjustment layer under the second clip, and we want to come into the effects control panel at the top left here. We will see that if we click on our adjustment layer that we applied the effects to, and if you don't see it, again, come up to window and make sure that effects controls is selected. Underneath replicate, the effect that we just dropped on, we're going to want to change the count to 3. Okay, this should change the amount of images that you guys are seeing here, and there should be 9 with 1 centered. All right, so once we've gotten this far, we are ready to add another effect onto our clip, and we can go ahead and search for that the same way we did for replicate. It's going to be called mirror. All right, it should be under distort, and we're just going to drag that mirror transition onto that same bottom clip. Scroll down and let's take a look at the settings. Okay, so we're going to be changing the settings starting with the reflection angle. So go ahead and change that to 90. So next what we're going to be doing is changing the reflection center. So go ahead and, where it says 540, let's drag this down, and what we're trying to do is, line up and make this line disappear. So as you guys can see here, we have a gap, and we're trying to close that centered gap. So you're going to be around 717. We can go 719. That looks good. Let's try 720. As long as we don't see that line. So we see that line there. All right, so we're going to stay at 719. And what we want to do now is apply another mirror effect. This time, we're going to be changing the reflection angle to -90. And we're going to be doing the same exact thing here, except we're going to drag the other way. All right, until our reflection angle is gone. All right, so that's around 360. Okay, all right, so we're going to do this 2 more times. We're going to go ahead and drag the mirror onto that adjustment layer, come down. This time we're going to be setting the reflection angle to 180. It should actually make your footage appear as if it's going away, but we're going to change the reflection center now and drag this guy to the left until our image comes, and we're looking for that line to the left, and we're just going to drag it until that line disappears there. So we're looking at about 640 the reflection center should be. We're going to do this one more time. We're going to drag our mirror effect directly onto that adjustment layer, this time changing the reflection center to 360, and we're going to be creating our very last point there. Okay. So that should look like somewhere around 1276. Okay, so a quick recap for you guys. If we click on this adjustment layer, we've applied the replicate effect, set the count to 3, and then we've applied 4 mirror transitions, starting with the reflection angle at 90, then -90, 180, and 360. And the reflection center points, we are moving the first 2 mirror counts. We're adjusting the second position, and the next 2, we're adjusting the first position so that we hide the lines and kind of make this smooth mirroring transition that's going to make this clip zoom perfectly into the second one. Okay. Now we're going to move on to applying transform to the first adjustment layer. So we are going to come up to the top here and search transform. So we're going to just drag this transform effect directly onto our top adjustment layer now. And you guys will see that it pops up these transform customizable effects underneath the transform effect. So I'm going to go to my center point here and go 5 frames to the left, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we want to make sure we check is this uniform scale box here. Okay, so if we don't, we'll have the option to scale both the height and width. We just want to do that at the same time. So we're going to click on uniform scale and click the toggle animation button to set the position of the starting point of the animation. Okay, then we're going to come 5 frames to the into the second clip and set that scale at 300. We're going to uncheck this box where it says use compositions shutter, and we're going to change the shutter angle to the maximum, which is going to be 360. Okay, that's going to give us a little nicer blur transition. All right, and so we're almost done. Let's go ahead and watch this. And it's a little bit slow. So as you guys can see, if you look up at the top, there's just a little bit of, some of those mirrors that we don't really want to see. So the final thing that we can do to even this out a little bit is go ahead and click on the adjustment layer, come up to the transform effect, and let's go ahead and click this arrow so we can look at the, transition that we've created. And what you can do is go ahead and change the velocity of the transition. So if we go in and change the velocity here and create a little mountain shape, for example, it's going to be telling our transition to go very fast. It's going to go from slow to very fast once it's at the center point, and then it's going to slow back down. So making sure that your cursor is, selected here. Go ahead and play with, your transition so that it works for whatever clip you're creating. And then we can rewatch that. And that looks so much smoother and so much better going into our second clip. All right. I'm going to go ahead and save my project. So should you. And what you can do now is, apply by copying and pasting or highlighting and, clicking Alt and dragging this transition over to various clips within your timeline. So if I wanted to just show you kind of what that looks like, we can play back this clip. We have a beautiful zoom transition into that clip, and then we can zoom back into the first clip. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video and can add this zoom transition into your projects.